Greetings to all viewers out there. My name is Nas, and today I will release a burden from my thoughts. Actually, it is not really a burden, it is just that I would like to voice out my opinions regarding a certain matter. And consider this not as a burden, but it is a labor of love. After all, I have been an avid follower of the GTA series for a long time, as early as the early 2000s. Guess how old I am, but that doesn't matter how old I am. I mean, I'm here to reveal my thoughts, not talk about my age. So let's get on to this subject matter. Today's topic is related to a certain Italian-American fella named Tommy Vercetti. Now, Tommy Vercetti is a character, and not only is he a character, but he's a major character. In fact, he's the protagonist of Grand Theft Auto Vice City, a game that was released by Rockstar Games in 2002. For those who play or have played Vice City, you will definitely know who I am talking about. But if you don't, it's okay. You can still watch this video. No problem at all. We will uncover the story of Tommy Vercetti, from his origins to his rise to power, and also to the aftermath of his rise to power in Vice City. More will be discussed as we go on. My fellow viewers, prepare for a ride. We are going to take a look at a brief, well, not so brief, backstory regarding this character. Tommy Vercetti was born in Liberty City. Little is known about the exact whereabouts of his birth, although it could be that he was born in Portland, since the Forelli family is stationed in Portland. But then again, they are also stationed in Fort Staunton in Staunton Island. But this one is open to interpretation. When Tommy was young, he would clean the rollers on printing machines with his father. He thought of continuing the tradition, but his life would take a different turn altogether. He was recruited into the mafia, specifically the Forelli crime family. The Forelli crime family is one of three major mafia factions in Liberty City. It is believed that he was recruited by Sonny Forelli into the Forelli crime family. Tommy is apparently very good at what he does. Probably he was too good, so good that the Forelli eventually felt that he needed to be taken out. He is not taken out as in killed. No, he was not killed. However, Sonny Forelli set an ambush for Tommy somewhere around 1972 or maybe 1971. I'm not really sure. Sonny sent 11 men to kill Tommy. The 11 men were killed. Tommy killed all 11 men in Harwood, in Portland. This mass genocide committed by Tommy meant that he was sentenced to life imprisonment and he was to face the death penalty. However, he did not receive the death penalty because of some strings that were pulled by the Forelli family. Furthermore, Tommy never revealed any Forelli family secrets to the cops in Liberty City. Therefore, he was spared from the death penalty and his sentence was shortened to 15 years. By the time it was year number 15, Tommy was out of prison. However, his reputation in Liberty City gained him the nickname of the Harwood Butcher. Tommy was not permitted to work in Liberty City, but instead Sonny sent him to Vice City as means to expand the Forelli business in drugs to down south, specifically in Vice City. So, Tommy was sent to Vice City with two other Forelli members known only as Harry and Lee. The three were supposed to secure a deal for drugs with the Vance crime family, which consists of two brothers, Victor and Lance Vance. Unfortunately for all parties, The deal was ambushed by a group of mercenaries. Tommy made it out alive, and so did Lance. Tommy informed Sonny of the ambush, and Sonny was enraged. Tommy vowed to get the drugs and the money back, and that was where Tommy's quest for power began. Tommy initially worked for lawyer Ken Rosenberg. It was around the same time that he also came across numerous shady characters all at once. It was in a boat party, or specifically a yacht party, organized by Colonel Juan Garcia Cortez. The people that Tommy met in the party would turn out to be his future employers. In one of Ken's missions, Tommy encountered Lance Vance in the alleyway of Vice Beach. Lance had a similar motive to Tommy, but he is more specifically towards revenge against his brother's death. Lance thought that it would be good if Tommy and him were to work together. Soon Tommy would work for Colonel Cortez, who was an intermediary for the drug deal. In return, Cortez would look over the ambush of the deal and inform Tommy of any outliers. An outlier soon emerged in the guise of Gonzalez, somebody who knew about the deal but was taken out by Tommy at the request of Cortez because Cortez felt that he is involved in some way. Tommy was also sent to steal some military equipment from the French at a nearby mall. Later on, Tommy would save Ricardo Diaz, a drug lord, from the Haitian gang attack. By helping Diaz, Tommy would soon work for Diaz. However, Diaz's jobs are mostly for personal gain, and Tommy had almost nothing to earn from it. It was not so long afterwards that Lance believed that Diaz was responsible for his brother's death, and therefore Lance struck first. Unfortunately for Lance, Diaz cornered him, so Lance was caught up and sent to the junkyard. Tommy had to save Lance at the junkyard, and eventually they plot their revenge against Diaz. Tommy and Lance eventually killed Diaz and took over his mansion at Starfish Island. Tommy was not one to waste time. Immediately after the death of Diaz, he set out to take over Vice City. He would purchase businesses after businesses and perform odd jobs for each business until he gained a considerable amount of profit. Tommy also disguised as Mr. Teal, somebody who was quite involved in the ambush of the drug deal that happened earlier in Vice City. Mr. Teal is an assassin hired by a certain Mr. Black. We do not know for sure if the name Mr. Teal and Mr. Black are real names. However, bottom line is Mr. Teal is a hitman and is hired by Mr. Black. Mr. Black does not know that Tommy is in disguise as Mr. Teal when he was working as Mr. Teal, funny as it may sound. Not one to rest on his laurels, Tommy would work with property developer Avery Carrington. Avery Carrington is the mentor of Donald Love, who we will talk about in the future. Tommy's work with Avery involved inciting a gang war between the Cubans and the Haitians. The reason for inciting the gang war is to drive down property prices. Avery's strategy is a success, but Tommy would find himself working for both the Cubans and the Haitian gangs later on. Tommy would also work with ex-army man Phil Cassidy, whom he first met at a shooting gallery. Tommy recruited Phil, Cam Jones, and Hillary to work on a bank robbery. Soon, Colonel Cortez would require help to escape from Vice City. He enlisted Tommy's help to escape from the GIGN assault team with his yacht. The GIGN were looking for the missile technology that was at the hands of Cortez at that time. Tommy's recent shenanigans in Vice City made Sonny restless and impatient over in Liberty City. Sonny wanted a cut of the profits that Tommy was making, which is a lot. However, Tommy ignored Sonny for a long time. Sonny would eventually strike by sending his men to collect his cut by force. However, Tommy thwarted his attempts by killing the collectors that were sent. Eventually, Tommy decided to give fake money to Sonny. Fake money that were printed at the print works which Tommy owned. Sonny would come face to face with Sonny after 15 years and attempted to give the counterfeit cash to Sonny. Unfortunately, the plot twisted a little bit when Lance revealed that he sided with Sonny. In short, Lance sold out. A gunfight battle ensued. Tommy would kill Lance and later he would do the same to Sonny, as Sonny revealed that he was indeed responsible for setting him up 15 years ago in Harwood. As a result of the deaths of Lance and Sonny, Tommy became the most powerful man in Vice City. So what happens after the events in Vice City? For one, it is believed that Tommy continued running the Vice City criminal underground after 1986. However, his relationship with Ken Rosenberg became less fruitful because of the latter's addiction to cocaine. Tommy surprisingly sent Ken to rehab far away from him. Ken was sent to rehab at Fort Carson Medical Center in Fort Carson, San Andreas. Ken would become clean by 1992, but Tommy would refuse to speak to him. It is believed that Tommy cut his ties with Ken indefinitely. Back to the real world, and this is outside of the game world of Vice City. We go back to the year 2002, the same year that GTA Vice City was released. Back then, there was a promotional website, KenPaul.com, where there was an article written by Ken Paul where Tommy was mentioned. That could imply that Tommy was still alive and in power during the early 2000s in Vice City. As a conclusion, we cannot tell whether or not Tommy is still alive today in the 2010s or the 2020s. However, we use the evidence that we receive from many other sources online, and it is possible that around the early 2000s, Tommy is still active in Vice City. Whether or not age caught up to him or his past actions caught up to him, that is up for debate. Regardless, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope to see you all again in another episode in the near future. Goodbye and stay safe, everybody.